that he was drastically showing weight loss and drastically looking a lot more gray and tired.
One thing that really stands out that she says is that at one point Diddy had a knife inside her mouth and then says, "I'm going to give you a Glasgow smile," which is, slitting someone's cheeks.
Diddy is apparently refusing meals. I don't know if it's all of them, but he's refusing some of them, and he's been reportedly looking.
Shan Diddy Combs, the legendary music mogul, is reportedly battling mentally and physically as he faces serious charges while incarcerated. A leaked audio clip shared by CNN allegedly captures Diddy crying inside his cell at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Diddy has shown noticeable physical changes while in prison, appearing thinner and grayer. Reports suggest he is battling tension problems and paranoia about food safety, leading him to skip meals.
Diddy had a court hearing or a court appearance, and a lot of the headlines were, because there's no cameras in there, but the journalists that were in there said that when Diddy came out, that he was drastically showing weight loss and drastically looking a lot more gray and tired. I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that, on his appearance, and if you had any thoughts on the court hearing itself.
Well, the weight loss, okay, yeah. You don't eat like you eat. He ain't drinking like he been drinking. I think it was popping bottles. It's a lot of sugar and alcohol. He definitely ain't eating like he is, and stress is a motherfucker. They don't sell dark and lovely in there, y'all. But that's all that is, y'all. Diddy, you stress a lot more. You get gray when you're stressing, right? Man, y'all just don't understand. Niggas is shitting more too. When you going through stress and your life change, y'all think about how y'all body act when you either eat a lot or you don't eat a lot. Your body do crazy stuff. We all deal with things different. A lot of people get gray, when they stressing and all of that. Shitting on, can't stop shitting. Sitting on the toilet daily when you're stressing. Me, I eat a lot.
Diddy Combs, known for his extravagant lifestyle and access to the most luxurious meals, is reportedly struggling to adapt to prison food. Accustomed to a diet of expensive high-quality cuisine, the stark contrast of prison meals has reportedly left him skipping meals entirely. Sources indicate that Diddy has expressed disdain for the standard prison fare, which is a far cry from the chef-prepared dishes he's used to in his life of luxury. The psychological impact of rising from the top of the entertainment world to living in a prison cell is palpable. Prison specialists believe that Diddy's behavior parallels that of many high-profile convicts who struggle to adapt to the extreme changes in their daily routines. For Diddy, food has become a symbol of his loss of power and a harsh reminder of his new reality.
Refusing meals. I don't know if it's all of them, but he's refusing some of them, and he's been reportedly looking a lot thinner. Why would that be?
Maybe he doesn't like the cuisine, or maybe now that he's actually in a dormitory unit, he's not living in his cell. Well, he's living in the cell, but he's not in there all day long. Now he can buy items at the commissary, and because of that, he may be making his own food. He probably has access to a microwave oven, or maybe like boiling hot water, and they make burritos and different things. He doesn't want to eat the prison food, I suppose, because he's scared somebody's going to put something in it. I've said this before. That's the way to get to this guy. Poison his food, turn him off like a light switch, and he can't testify against it.
Beyond his troubles with meals, Diddy is apparently opting to remain in his cell for extended times. Insiders claim this is a conscious effort to protect himself from potential damage owing to his fame and influence. Diddy's presence in the general prison population could make him a target. By staying confined to his cell, he is using the system of legal custody as a shield. Isolation comes at a cost. While it may protect him physically, it also limits his social interactions, exacerbating feelings of loneliness and anxiety. Diddy's unwillingness to participate with the larger prison community demonstrates how his fame has become both a blessing and a curse.
Refusing to leave his jail cell, but it might not be for the reason that y'all think. Now, usually when somebody is in jail or prison and they refuse to leave their cell, it's because they're scared of the other inmates, and it's called a PC move. It's like putting yourself in protective custody. That's not exactly what Diddy is doing here, even though I'm sure that does have something to do with it. Diddy allegedly refuses to leave his jail cell to avoid more of these assault lawsuits. According to this article, Diddy is refusing to leave his jail cell when they call him down to book in to serve him with more lawsuits. If you're sitting in jail and they're going to serve you with more charges or more lawsuits, they call you down to book in and you have to sign for it. But if you refuse to leave the cell, they only have two options: come back later, or they can actually pay a sheriff's deputy to come down and serve you at your cell. This is exactly what they're going to end up doing here, so everything that he's trying to get out of this stuff is not going to work. It's a nice try, but you can't hide from justice forever.
A guard at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center has provided rare insights into Diddy's day-to-day life in prison. According to the guard, Diddy has been placed in a personal cell separate from the general population. This move was made to ensure his safety, as high-profile inmates often face unique risks in prison settings. The decision to keep Diddy in a personal cell highlights the complexities of managing celebrity inmates. While such measures are designed to protect the officer, highlighted that Diddy is being treated decently within the limits of prison laws, but his celebrity status undoubtedly adds levels of difficulty to his confinement.
He is in protective custody there?
Yeah, he's a celebrity.
Yeah, and by himself.
Any celebrity go to jail, you have to be, you can't be around people. You're a celebrity. You could manipulate people. You could do whatever. Then, even around the COs, it's Diddy. The CO's going.
Yeah, from my experience, I think they're keeping him by himself.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to put him in a cell.
That's why
with
everybody
someone.
he's not gonna, unless he says, I want to be with I want to be out there. And they ain't gonna put him out there. And it's a risk doing that.
Now, is there a private unit for someone like him, or is he just in a cell in the SHU?
Yeah, he probably would be in the they probably would keep him in SHU. But if he feel like it's in, the SHU is different. You know about SHU. So the SHU is a little, they probably would keep him there for a little while. And then if he say he want to get out to society, then they could push it for him to be there.
But not in Gen Pop.
Not in Gen Pop. They probably could put him in Gen Pop, but
I don't think they would.
That's scary. It's a scary situation.
They're not going to risk that after Epstein.
Among the many rumors and revelations concerning Diddy's history, Tupac Shakur's former girlfriend has weighed in. In a recent interview, she expressed little surprise at the allegations and controversies surrounding Diddy. She claimed to have had inklings about his alleged actions for years, suggesting that much of what has come to light was already known within certain circles. Her comments add another layer to the public perception of Diddy, connecting current events to the long-standing tensions and rivalries within the hip-hop industry. Her perspective highlights how Diddy's current struggles are not only about his legal battles, but also about a history of contentious relationships and actions.
All of the recent headlines about Puffy and all of the allegations of the drugging and the abuse and all the drugs that he's allegedly on. Are you surprised by any of the headlines?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Oh, why, Desiree? Why?
Because I know a lot of people that know him. I met one of his old security guards, and I've been to the tea about him. Weird shit, like in strap-ons. I met this girl one time that did a photo shoot for him. It's a nice young lady from Canada, and me and her ended up going on vacation together. And a few months later, and she told me something that she saw go down at his house in the Hamptons. And then a few months later, she told me that she went hanging out with like his bodyguard and his entourage, and somebody drugged her and she doesn't know what happened. So none of this is alarming. And then she went back to Canada. So.
And how long ago was this? Was this in the 90s?
This was in the 2000s. Maybe like around 2004, 2006.
Former Bad Boy Records bodyguard Gan Deal has made shocking claims about Diddy's role in the hip-hop industry. According to Deal, Diddy and Jay-Z were allegedly involved in efforts to undermine East Coast rappers. These allegations paint a picture of a calculated strategy to dominate the music industry by sidelining rivals. Gan Deal's accusations have prompted intense disputes among fans and industry insiders. While some dismiss his charges as unfounded, others see them as a window into the darker side of the music business. The allegations have added gasoline to the fire, further hurting Diddy's public image.
And that was to destroy East Coast rap. And what I mean by that, and I know people gonna be like, yo, Gene is out of his mind and everything like that. Check this out, brother. Is that New York rappers was getting 800 to 1.2 million, or some larger than that, and sign with labels back then. And they was getting a lot of money to make albums and records. When they had guys down south that these labels was paying $250,000, $300,000 on record deals, and these guys was bringing back platinum albums and everything like that. So what they had to do was they had to keep New York rappers down. That's one reason, other than the Irv Gotti that 50 was going through and the poison they was putting in about 50, he had to go elsewhere to California, or with Jay and not with Dre and Eminem to get a deal. They did not want East Coast rappers to get big. They were suppressing all new artists that was coming out of New York. Jay and
A former bodyguard has disclosed surprising information about Diddy's famed parties, noted for their luxury and exclusivity, which were sometimes cloaked in mystery. The bodyguard revealed scenes that many would find difficult to believe, with celebrities' affluence and debauchery on full display. While these revelations have attracted public interest, Diddy's legal team has been fast to protect his reputation. They contend that the parties were harmless, emphasizing that all participants were consenting adults. This defense tries to reframe the narrative by concentrating on the consensual nature of these events rather than the charges of wrongdoing.
Because they have stronger hands and stronger jaw muscles.
Now, who told you that?
He's a singer. His name's Bobby Valentino.
Bobby Valentino. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so but we grew up, we never looked up to these type of people. We always looked up to the gangsters, bro. So like, the gangster guys, my uncles and all of them, they would always say, man, be careful, man. That entertainment stuff is for sissies, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And and then you're operating in a network of people where, he was the middleman. He's the party guy for the guys who really got the money. Because none of these problems started for him until he went after the liquor company that owned Ciroc. We all thought he was part owner of Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
The moment he won that lawsuit, shortly after that, he sold Revolt TV. Revolt TV was his baby. It's his own network. He worked hard on that. So when I saw he sold that to his buddy, I'm like,
In reaction to scrutiny, Diddy's legal team has claimed that his parties were harmless, noting that all adult participants were willing. This defense seeks to reduce claims by emphasizing Khan's vital role.
Here in this filing, so they're saying that these freak-offs are harmless, essentially harmless adult activities. If we take a look at this filing, they're writing that, like many Americans in the privacy of their own bedrooms, they sometimes film their sexual activity. And these videos show that the person alleged in the indictment to be victim one not only consented, but that she thoroughly enjoyed herself. So, Dr. Laurel, how mainstream is this type of activity?
How mainstream is recording sex acts with partners.
Right.
Just because it may not happen in every home and every situation doesn't mean it's not, common or appropriate. The issue is are the participants able to consent with respect to age and being sober? And so, sure, people record themselves all the time and use those recordings in a variety.
Diddy's previous dealings with Suge Knight reflect long-standing conflicts within the hip-hop industry. Both characters have faced legal issues, emphasizing the complicated interplay of connections and rivals in the rap scene.
Where blacks would distribute their own music through, distribute their own music and stuff like that. So that's what we thought it was back then. But it was truth behind the fact that it was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those folks and let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. And so that's how all those other labels got raided. What you call that? Rap-A-Lot, Rockefeller got on the list. And Rockefeller got on the list because of the fact that Dame and Jaden was breaking up anyway, because I don't know if Dame even spoke on him. They gave Jay the opportunity, saying like, yo, if you get rid of Dame, you help us get rid of Dame. And this, everybody knew this. They told Jay, if you help us get rid of Dame, you understand, we're gonna make you the president of Def Jam. So they faked like they was gonna do the ones and twos with Dame, and then they actually did it with Jay-Z. They had promised Dame that they was gonna get Dame Def Jam, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't
Jan Combs and 2 other men mistreated her while recording the attack, according to her story. She managed to escape the situation by threatening Combs with a knife and fled his home after a neighbor provided a timely distraction. Parham also spoke in the Peacock documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which delves into these allegations. In response, Combs' legal team has strongly denied the claims, labeling the accusations presented in the documentary as fabricated. The documentary's revelations have brought forth another layer of shocking allegations against the music mogul, intensifying public scrutiny of his past actions. One thing that really stands out that she says is that at one point Diddy had a knife inside her mouth and then says, "I'm going to give you a Glasgow smile," which is slitting someone's cheeks, but he's warned against it by one of a member of his team, saying Diddy's associates would prefer it if she referred to Ashley looked normal. She also says that they said to her they could ship her off and sell her to anyone in the world, and she never be seen again by her. Ashley did make a police report in 2018 at the time of the alleged incident, and the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department confirmed her report was thoroughly investigated and it was determined the claims were unfounded. Did's team said Mr. Combs was nowhere near Orinda, California on the day that she claimed she was assaulted, and there's no evidence that Mr. Combs was ever even in the same room as the alleged victim. It's completely unbelievable, and no sane person who used the ev would buy.
See, it's messed up enough that Craig Mack started Bad Boy and got them off the ground, but we all know that Diddy and his freak parties, that's what exposed Craig Mack and got him HIV. You know, Diddy was the one who set Craig Mack up with the woman who gave him HIV. You know, they was all, going one after the other, which leads me to believe that all of them might have it, you dig? And if Craig Mack, y'all not familiar with him, man, he caught HIV. He's the one who just made Bad Boy take off, and he died from full-blown AIDS a few years ago living at a coast, South Carolina. But guess what? Diddy was the one who set him up with the chick. You dig? So it's probably safe to say that Diddy, Craig Mack, a whole lot of these people are sharing diseases and swapping bodily fluids because you have not heard a mention of a condom. Long live Craig Mack. Down with Diddy, man. Y'all need to make better decisions out here.